Have you heard about Darby McLaughlin? TableTopics! Which of your personality traits would you like to change? Well, I don't know. I look in the mirror on a weekly basis and I say, come on, Floss, we could do better. We could do better. So I always try to keep myself in check. I don't know. Gossip. Gossip maybe, which, I don't know. I hate gossip. I hate gossip. Let me tell you about this precious little doll named Darby in the book Dollhouse. Oh my goodness. You know what? I started off this book and it was cool. And then somewhere in the middle, it may have started to sway me. It wasn't losing me. It was swaying me. I kind of thought that maybe this book was going to be drawn out. That is not the case. As the book went on, it somehow got better and better. It was as if each passing page, not day, each passing page got better and better. Yeah, I'll tell you what, from chapters 17 through 32, I definitely wasn't putting this down. I stormtroopered on and finished this book. We have a dual storyline. In 1952, at a Barbizon modeling agency, I think back then it was known in Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar. She referred to it as the Amazon. It's actually the Barbizon. So I think Sylvia stayed there for about a month before she met her tragic end. And then there were other references of famous people who started there. Candace Bergen. Well, golly, gee, she's the only one that's coming to mind right now. But there was a couple of them that they referenced. And Darby is there upon her father's passing. And with the insurance money, the mother wants to set Darby's future up, so she figures a life in secretarial work will best suit her. Although this is not Darby's wish, she wishes to please her mother. So she agrees to come from Ohio to New York City and give it a go. And she meets some characters there. A hat check lady at the Barbizon school. She meets a cook in a nearby jazz club. And she starts to create a life for herself. So when school doesn't quite pan out for her, things start to shift drastically for Darby. And she's forced for the first time in her life to make her own decisions rather than have people make decisions for her. She's coming into herself as an adult, and she's realizing now that the best decisions for her would be the ones that she made for herself. So in doing so, there are some friends that she has made along the way that aren't quite willing to let Darby make those decisions. Although her mother has disowned her at some point in this book, her friends kind of, they're kind of like gaslighting. I couldn't think of that word, gaslighting. And they're actually not, well, one friend in particularly is not actually having Darby's best interests at heart. So anyways, these two girls, Darby and Esme, strike up a friendship. None of the other girls tend to like Esme because she is not a student at the school. She is the hat check girl, and they feel she is beneath them. And Esme herself has come from an undesirable situation, but she's a go-getter, and she's one to make things happen at no matter the cost, in order to climb that social ladder. She'll do what she has to do. So Darby is very endeared to her. And although the other girls are warning her to stay clear, Darby is making her own decisions, and Darby's doing what Darby wants to do regardless. So that's great. That's great. That's great for Darby. Darby, you do Darby. Then we have the other storyline, which involves a lady named Rose. And Rose is a journalist, and she wants to cover this story. We're in 2016 now. Rose wants to cover this story, and she has a love interest, but this love interest happens to want to be going back to his ex-wife. So we're dealing with a relationship that's going awry, with a job that's not seeing Rose's vision, and a series of events start to unfold. And somewhere, I think this is brilliant, somewhere in the storyline, Darby's life in 1952 starts to match up with Rose's life in 2016. Now, Rose would happen to be the reporter who is, in 2016, researching Darby's time spent at this Barbizon modeling school. So I like secretarial school, etiquette school. So I thought that was a brilliant take on the book, to have 1952 meet the same path as 2016 in two different vessels. I thought, you know, that's pretty cool. So I did enjoy this book. Like I said, chapters 17 through 32, oh, they're page turners for sure. Put the pot of coffee on, because you're not going to want to put this book down. I don't know what made me pick this book up. It might have been just a cover thing. Who doesn't want to be a fancy schmancy in New York City, walking the streets with a smile on your face, going to a Barbizon etiquette school? That sounds like a pretty posh, cool life, right? Unfortunately, that is not the case in this book. I have to say, there is a darker side to this book. So don't go into this book thinking that it's going to be all butterflies and gumdrops, because, you know, there's a back alley lurking somewhere in this book. Shady things go on. So it was nicely done. I think the storyline was well written. I actually felt like Darby. That's who I identified within this book. So yeah, I definitely was painted a very picturesque scene, and I definitely felt like I stepped inside of this book. So this is a great book if you're looking for something to get away, to escape from your everyday life. This book will certainly help you with that. It's fun. It's fun in the way, not in a cutesy wootsy way. It's fun in the way that it makes you talk out loud. At least I did. I found myself actually doing things like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? No way. Get going, get rolling, out of town, man. like I was actually talking to myself out loud. And a lot of it made me chuckle because I'm like, I can't believe that dirty OB. So it was fun in that kind of way where it's like shock, like the shock and awe value. When you follow along with the storyline, you're like, oh, some people are not to be trusted. Let's just say that. So yeah, that would be my review on this. So I'm going to give it a star rating because you know what? I love star ratings. I think, like I just mentioned to another booktuber, I think it was Bookless Pete, that I don't give books star ratings per se, based on, like a literary thing. I do it more so as a guide. I think like if somebody gave a book a 3 or a 2-star rating, that doesn't mean I'm not going to read it because, oh, it's only rated 2 stars. No, I'm going to read it regardless because different points of view, different perspectives. But I only give star ratings as a guideline. So I'm going to give this book 5 stars because I think it had everything that I was looking for in a book in this moment and time of my life. So 5 stars. I think she was brilliant in this whole storyline, the plot, the outcome. I don't know. I was pleased. And there you have it. Until we meet again, know that I love you. Be well, be good, be reading, and may all your dreams come true.